torture. They loved killing. That's what they did. I mean, they loved it.
Who was Luciano Leggio, the mentor of Toto, Riina, an Italian criminal and leading figure of the Sicilian Mafia? He was head of the Corleonesi, the mafia family that organized in the town of Corleone. He became notorious for avoiding convictions for a multitude of crimes, including several murders. Born on January 6, 1925, Corleone, Sicily, Liggio came from a family of 10 children who lived on a farm in great poverty. Luciano had already turned to crime in his teens and was first convicted at the age of 18 for stealing corn. As soon as he had served 6 months in prison for this theft, he sought out a person who would report him to the police and killed him. In 1945, at the age of 20, he was appointed as a soldier of the family by the then Don of the Corleonesi, Michele Navarra. Many pentitles described Liggio as very aggressive or violent, vain and didactic. The many murders to his name at least testified to his violence, and the vain was probably noticeable. An expensive suit, complete with sunglasses and cigar, which was always appeared at the court hearings. On March 10, 1948, trade unionist Placido Risotto was kidnapped by 3 men in broad daylight. Some witnesses claimed that Luciano Leggio was one of the 3 men. The following year, 2 men confessed to having helped with the kidnapping, after which Risotto was allegedly shot dead by Liggio and dumped in a ravine. Liggio had to go into hiding shortly after, because he wanted again for the same murder of Risotto. Not that hiding was difficult, because no one in Corleone even thought of informing the police about him or his whereabouts. He was tried twice but was acquitted in absentia due to lack of evidence. While Liggio was in prison in the second half of the 1940s, he then met the 19-year-old Toto Riina, who was serving a 6-year sentence for manslaughter, and quickly became friends with Liggio. Riina would later work for Liggio along with the childhood friends Bernardo Provenzano and Claudio Baccarella, forming the hardcore of the Corleonesi clan. Liggio was building his own faction and could use on reliable hands like Riina, Provenzano and Baccarella. In 1956, this faction declared war on their own Don Navarra and his followers because of a dispute about the dam that would be built. Liggio and Navarra disagreed about how to make money from it. Navarra thought the yields of the farmers on the lands were high enough to oppose the construction of the dam, while Liggio saw opportunities to make money from the construction and rent. One evening in June 1958, while walking through the fields, Liggio was shot at by Navarra's men. He managed to escape a few months later. On August 2, 1958, Liggio, Riina and Provenzano and a few other mafiosi were hiding on the road just outside Corleone. Soon Navarra drove up and the men opened fire on him and his car. They fired over 200 rounds at the doctor of his colleague Legara Fridi, also a doctor at the hospital not connected to the mafia, who happened to traveling with Navarra. Liggio declared himself the boss, or Don, of Corleone, and the new Corleonesi became a manhunt for the men loyal to Navarra. This massacre lasted for almost 5 years, during which more than 50 mafiosi and Navarra sympathizers were hunted down and killed. Liggio and his faction literally crushed the opposition in Corleone and eventually took a seat on the Sicilian Mafia Commission as a representative of the Corleonesi clan. The sudden increase in violence in Corleone, combined with the Caculli massacre in Palermo, the result of the First Mafia War, had on the other hand caused an increase in police activity in Sicily. Eventually, the pressure from the chasing Carabinieri became too much for the mafiosi, and Liggio and his men had to go into hiding. In the 1960s and the early 1970s, Liggio was mainly concerned with increasing the power of the Corleonesi, killing anyone who got in his way and trying to gain control of the entire heroin trade, processing and transport. It was a lucrative trade in the hands of the Sicilian Mafia, which was becoming an increasingly large part of the Costa Nostra income. In 1974, he was arrested and sentenced to life in prison. On November 16, 1993, he died in prison at the age of 68. He died of a heart attack and is buried in the native village of Corleone.